I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? It is a great day. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm so very, very excited to have my next guest on the show. Now, yeah, I can't pronounce that name. I'm not even going to try because
it's LVEMRE. It's LVEMRE.
Huh?
It's LVEMRE.
Mm-hmm. Love more. I like that. I like that. See, I would have tortured it. I would have tried to sound it out. It's just bad. Well, Love More, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime. So tell us about yourself.
Well, my artist name is LVEMRE, as you mentioned. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer. I've been doing music for many, many, many years, more behind the scenes, working with other different artists. And I've decided that it's time for me to kind of step out in the forefront and put out the stuff that I would like to do, share my message with the world and give back, because music has given me so much. I want to share my life experiences and my stories through my music and give it to the world.
That sounds amazing. That's, it's a good feeling to do that. It's really good. So tell me about your journey. You said you'd done some things behind the scenes. What was that like? And now switching to the front, what is that like?
So behind the scenes, I literally have been more of a producer for people. I would mix and master and engineer and work on people's music. And because I went to Full Sail, I have a degree from Full Sail for music production and audio engineering. So I would do that for people. I would sing on hooks and I would do a bunch of different stuff and not necessarily get the recognition that I thought I should get for it, but working with different people and some artists you may know, some you may not know. I like working with more smaller local artists because they tend to be a lot more humble. And when it comes to the major artists, sometimes they want things a little bit, you know what I mean.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
I ain't saying nothing.
I'll just say it's hit or miss sometimes.
Yes, definitely hit or miss sometimes. I mean, but you know what? They've gotten into their routine that this is what they're used to hearing. This is what they want. And so, they know their sound.
Right.
Yeah, they know their sound. So, wow. So now that you've done that, now switching over to the front, what was the difference? And how did you, how are you coping with that?
The biggest difference for me was just, it's hard for me to really promote myself and talk about myself because that feels a little bit it's a little taboo for some people. You may seem like you're a little bit of a narcissist, but promotion is my thing now. I've got all this great music and being a hen sitting on it for all these years, and that's a change. And the reception that the song has gotten, it's been amazing to me. Like I get messages. I have to use Google Translate to even understand some of the messages I get because people say, I heard your song on the radio in Sweden. I'm like, what? Are you serious? Like in Sweden, hearing your song in different places, or I found you on this website. I found you on that website. I think you're great. I think your music is amazing. I'm not used to that type of praise. I'm not used to that. I'm a Southern young man,
I hear you. Being okay, so how can you and how have you accustomed yourself, or are you still not used to it?
I'm not used to it. I'm still not used to it.
Wow, it does take some getting used to.
Yes.
It really does. I mean, okay, so behind the scenes, let's go back a little bit. How did you get into music and, why?
Well, I started with music when I was around the age of 9 or 10. I used to sing to my mom all the time, and she said, well, I want to do something with that talent. So she started buying me instruments, and we joined the church, and I started playing in the church. I would play the keyboards for the church. I would sing in the choir. I would do that type of stuff. And that's when I really realized I had a knack for it. I could pick up an instrument and kind of just learn to play it, just play it. And my mom she was infatuated with that. She's like, you really have a talent. And I thought it was more so along the lines of this is something that I would do for the choir, or I would do, just for the people, more local thing, and she said, no, son, you much bigger than that. You know, it's something about you that people need to see, people need to hear. And I just started working, and I started letting, because I was in the military. I retired from the military. I would let my friends in the military hear some of the stuff that I would do, and they would want to hop on songs, and they would want to record over stuff that I was making, and they would do it. And you know, it kind of just stuck with me from there. You know, I've been around it pretty much all my life, as far back as I can remember. I've been into
Wow.
music. I've been doing music.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So mom is the
Yes.
instrument here, you know. A
Oh,
lot of kids don't want to listen to the parents. So they
listen.
do the opposite thing, but you didn't go that route.
No, I didn't. You know what? I rebelled against my mom one time. I would say
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
one time, right? And then she didn't want me to join the military, but I just knew that I had to do that because I had to leave my town. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be where I am now.
I
The only
got you.
time I've rebelled and it worked out in my favor.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think it's rebellion. It's more like you got to find your own way. And you
Right.
know, parents don't want you to go. I'm
Oh,
not lying. You know, they don't want you to. They spent their entire lives investing into you, and then all of a sudden you
yes.
leave.
Yes.
It's heartbreaking. I've done
Oh,
it
I know.
twice.
I've done it once, and I know.
It's heartbreaking. It's like, no. It's like everything I've ever done is walking out the
It's walking out. Yep. Sent my daughter off to college last year. I know the feeling.
door.
God.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's scary, but you have to let them live their lives. So you
Yes.
went to the military. How was your music in the military? Was it on hold?
Oh wow, beyond on hold, right? So I think that's also part of the reason why I was more behind the scenes, because you know, when you're in the military, you have a certain image you have to uphold. You know, you see the negative stories in the news about military members, and that's the one thing you never wanted to do as a soldier. You didn't want to be that guy, whether it be for good or bad. You know, I've seen what happens, and I didn't want to lose my career behind potentially being caught up in something that I had no control over. You know, so I kind of kept it under wraps in a sense of being out and open. Oh, I do music. I do this. I do this. I produce for that person. I've done this for that person. And I just kept that under wraps, and like I said, stay behind the scene.
How did that feel? I mean, it
It,
must have been torture.
oh wow, it is. I'll tell you, it molds you. It molds you to never want to do that again. It makes you. It gives you a feeling of like I had to hide the thing that I'm very passionate about for many years because people don't understand it. They don't necessarily understand. They don't agree with it. They think it's going to give a bad taste or a bad image of, you know, I guess if you say you work for somewhere like Amazon or some
Mhm.
different type of company or something like that, they don't want their image to be tainted. In the military, we are the image of the nation. So we have to be really careful. I had to be really careful with some of the moves that I made because I didn't want to taint that and lose my well-being at that time.
Wow. You know, I can't imagine what did it feel like to you to actually, you know, hold that in. How long were you in the military?
I did 20 years. I served for 20 years. Yes, I served
20
for 20 years.
years of no
Yeah.
music?
No, I was doing music, just
Okay.
not I was not in the forefront. I was more behind the scenes. I would produce for people. I would send
Hiding
beats to
it?
people. Yes, I would mix and
Oh,
master music. It's not okay. So I think there's a misconception. People think that um, when you're in the military, you kind of have to be in the barracks. You have to have no. You have a life outside of the military. It's just I couldn't do what I'm doing now. More on a level of okay, I'm out. I'm proud. I'm giving the world my music. I couldn't do that because there's an image. And I can mix and master and send music and record and do all that stuff on my own time. I did all that, but I just couldn't be necessarily in the forefront with the type of music I was producing at the time.
mm.
You know, but again,
Did you
I've even changed there.
right. Did you go through any kind of emotional roller coaster, depression, or anything during that time?
Oh yes. Oh yes. It wasn't until I didn't realize I was going through, I didn't realize I had I talk about it, PTSD. I didn't realize I had a lot of things that would build up in me, depression, until I went to a therapist and started talking to him about the things that I was experiencing, how I would feel, how I would be short tempered with my family, and how I felt like I had to hide everything about my music and about, you know, just what I was passionate about. And he said, you know, That's depression. What you're feeling right now is depression because you are hiding who you are. And it wasn't until I got that confirmation that I said that it's time for me to leave and step out from behind the shadows, behind everybody else, and be my own individual. Put my music out, give the world what I want to give the world. When I did that, it was literally a weight lifted off my shoulders. It was literally a weight. I had no idea how heavy it was, but it was a weight.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I mean, okay, so I've had guests on the show that have talked about being, and these are top, B A-list people in the
Hmm.
music industry. And they talk about how it is lonely where they are. They have few pickings of friends that they can hang out with. A lot of people don't understand them, don't understand their drive and their goal driven. They're always talking and always moving towards their goal. And so how do you feel, and have you found that camaraderie that most people can't find in the music industry?
Yes, I actually have a friend who's been in the industry for years. I don't know if it's safe to really say his name. He's not a major artist yet. He's going to be. His name is Young Six. I've known him for many, many, many a moons, right? And he's been that person that said, "Hey, look, you need to put this out. You need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do that. This is why. This is how you do this. This is how you move here." And that I can't explain how important that camaraderie is. It is when people say that you need people, it is a real thing. It's true. There's no lie behind it. So
It's no lie.
if you got people that are honest and open and transparent with you in your corner, oh, keep them around. Keep them
That's right.
around and listen.
That's
Yeah.
right. You are so right. It's like, how would I say this? You came out of the military. Why did you come out? Did you come out because of your music, or was it just because it was time?
It was a combination. It was a combination. I felt more so I wanted to focus on my music, but I also felt like it was time for me to leave. It was time for me to do something else with my life.
Yeah.
It was time.
Mhm. And you had a family throughout that time as well?
Yes, yes, yes. Married with 2 children.
Yeah, that sounds like the TV
Yeah.
show. Um, but no, seriously. I mean, how was that for you to be married, to have to suppress your true nature, your true self, but yet have such a wonderful family and a career?
Yeah, well, my wife she always understood it. She knew that because she had the pleasure of going home and kind of staying with my mom when I was on deployment at one point. So she saw the way I grew up, and she saw the church I went to. She know how much they miss me there with the music. So she got a chance to witness my childhood, and she's very open. She's very honest about me pursuing music. She's always said, "Well, you need to do that." She wanted me to get out, but because of my duty, my feelings of I have a duty to take care of my family. This is the way I feed my family. I just couldn't do it at that time. You know?
Wow.
And that puts a lot of stress on the relationship as well when you have someone that wants you to succeed and do what you want to do, but you kind of fight that, push back like, hey, I know it's give and take. Relationships are give and take. I'm not willing to I'm not willing to take right now. I have to give, 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 give. And she said that, well, we would have a lot of arguments about it. I'll put it that way. We have a lot of arguments about it.
Well, you made it through.
Yes, I made it. Thank God I made
So
it.
you're on this side, the music industry, and you're putting out your music now. What is that like for you? Because I know it's from, the uh the service all the
Yeah.
way to now no service to now music. What is
Right.
that like?
Oh, it's a huge change, right? So it's literally like going from feeling like somebody of importance to now you're no one in this huge, massive industry. You're just beginning, you're just starting your journey. And then I would be considered an older artist. I'm somebody that should already have been to a certain point by now, given the amount of years I've been doing it and the stuff that I've had hands in. You would think I would be further along, but I had to go through my journey. it's overwhelming, right? I feel like I got so much catching up to do. I feel like I have a lot of things that I got to get done, you know?
Wow. There's a lot of people out there that feel that way. But
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I talked to a young man in his 20s. And you know what
Hmm.
he told me? He said, I said, if a person were to die in their 50s, is that old or young? And he said, very young. I said, what about 70s? He said, you're getting old, but you're not old yet. I said,
Hmm.
about 90s. He goes, now you're old. He
You're
says,
old.
you have to understand that we're living longer. We're accomplishing things a lot later in life too, because a lot of us want to raise our kids. A
Mhm.
lot of us want to have that time to go home. We're gonna go home.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when that time is up and your kids are older, a lot of people are going, okay, I did my kids. I was there for them 100%. Now it's me time.
It's
And a
me time.
lot of people are doing that. And so I talked to this young man and he says, I mean, maybe you go early, but then he said a lot of women are regretting it because those are the childbearing years. So what
Hmm.
do? You either pick your kids and your family and then your career, or you pick your career and no kids.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I'm thankful for my choices because I couldn't imagine my life without my kids.
There you
I
go.
couldn't. I could
Yeah.
not.
And I chose my kids.
Yeah.
I did. I
Every
chose my family.
100%.
Yeah. I chose my family. I chose my kids. And so I'm starting late in life. I'm starting midlife. I'm 50. Okay. Hello.
You don't look 50.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm 50 years old and I have no regrets. I homeschool my kids. I was there every day. I mean, I was not missing not one time. I was not MIA trying to go after my own dreams. I was raising my children. And I think a lot of people don't realize that these are the choices that you have to make. You can either go after your career or after your children. And
Right.
so I chose my kids. So you're not catching up. I'm going to tell you that. You're not.
Yeah.
You're actually where you're supposed to be. So how does that make you feel?
Oh, thank you. That's reassuring. That's very reassuring. It is. And I thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for
Thank
sharing that.
you. Yeah.
That's motivating to me. It's very motivating.
Awesome. Awesome. So, okay. So now that you're in completely being both feet into the music industry, what are you doing today?
Today, I'm just on promoting. I'm promoting. I have songs that I've literally planned out my year on songs that I want to drop when I want to drop them, what I want to do to promote them, and just trying to get the ball going. He said I'm an air traffic controller by trade, so being timeliness is very key
I
to me.
know
I have
about
to
that.
have things scheduled, so I
Yes.
scheduled out my year of releases and what I want to do, what my plans are, video
What
shoots and
happens?
all of that.
What happens if nothing goes your way?
If nothing goes my way, I readjust. I've learned in the military thing. You don't things you plan to yes, you have a plan, but always plan to fail. Have a backup. Have a
Yeah.
backup. Yeah.
So what? Okay, so now we're at the point where we're at you right now in this moment.
Hmm.
Your future, you said you planned it out. Where do you see yourself next year?
Next year, I mean, it may be a little bit uh what's the word I'm looking for? It may be a little bit more than I can, but I see myself at the Grammys. I see myself sitting at the Grammys somewhere, or at least some type of award show, receiving an award for the work that I put in. People loving the music, people enjoying the music, and getting rewarded for that. That's
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. What
yeah.
what kind of advice do you give other people that are coming up, just like you and me? I mean,
Mhm.
we're older people, but we're in it. I mean, you know what I mean? We're in it.
Right,
Hello.
right, right. Oh yeah. The advice I give people is just to always go after what you want. Go after what you want. If it's music you want to pursue it. If you want to be a singer, songwriter, artist, whatever you want to do, just go after it. Feel it in your heart. Know that that's what you want. Because if it's something that you're passionate about, you're going to do it. It doesn't feel like work. You enjoy doing it. I legitimately enjoy sitting in a studio, in my recording studio for hours, going through sounds and doing different things. I enjoy that. That doesn't feel like work to me. I could spend days at a time just off in that zone because it doesn't feel like work. It's enjoyment. That's the one I always tell people, chase that passion. Whatever your passion is, chase it.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk about your music, man. Your music that you got out now. What's going on with you?
So I just released here on December 31st, my second single. It's called Lost Cause. And it's a song, it's something that I wanted to release for my mom. You know, she had this thing where she would always say, well, when you gonna put a CD out? When you gonna give me a CD? When you gonna give me something? I actually mentioned that in the song. And I wanted it to be something that she can listen to and play with her friends and feel motivated about, to know that her son is okay. She did everything she was supposed to do as a mother. And she instilled in me that relationship, with God, that keeps me focused, that keeps me driven, that keeps me humble, that keeps me down to earth. Everything she wanted me to be, she did everything she possibly could do. She did it right. And I wanted her to know that. I wanted that song to be her song. Hey, you know, this is for you. I love you. Thank you for what you did. That song, because I could have been a lost cause. You know, sometimes you kind of sometimes feel that way. You know, it's, if you are not walking in your truth, you kind of do feel like a lost cause. But
wow, that's deep.
I wasn't. That's my heart. That's the song for my heart.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. You know, is there anything we missed that you'd like to talk to your fans about today?
No, I mean, to be honest, I thank you if you've supported me, if you're supporting my music, I really do appreciate it. It comes from a pure place. It comes from an innocent place. It comes from my heart. It's what I love to do. Anybody that wants to reach out to me, reach out. I'm always open to talk or to collaborate, do whatever. I'm all for it. Like I said, I come from the background now. I want to be in the forefront, but I'm still able to collaborate. And my phone always works. If you got my email, email me. That's me hitting you back. That is me. 100%. I thank you, Yaya. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for being on the show. And wait, don't you go anywhere. And don't you go anywhere, guys. I'm going to say that all of his information is going to be in the description box below. So it'll be easy for you guys to go ahead and grab that. Go like, follow, comment his pages, and go ahead and support. Just show him all the Dream Chasers love like we always show everybody here. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. And wait, don't go anywhere. Like I said, we're going to have Love More introduce his single.
That's right. That's right. So what you about to hear is my new single. It's called Lost Cause. I hope you enjoy it. Please, if you do, hit me up on Instagram. Let me know. Hit me up on all my socials. Please, spam it. Tell me you love it. I appreciate it. Now I look forward to giving you more.
I think I got one. I like to introduce myself. Oh yeah. I want to make one my mama could listen to. I like to introduce myself. She always asking, when you gon' make me a CD? When you gon' make me a CD? I got you. Jumped out the front porch and got on the run. With a mission in mind to be the best me. I'm thankful to God, so many blessings. Started out when I was young, knowing I would be someone. Being guided about what I love to do. This music changed my life in more than one way. I gotta be thankful for my blessings. When I was down, you sent me a best friend. And because of you, I think I know the meaning of love. I never walked alone. You've been there all along. Footsteps in the sand, you would carry me along. Yeah. All praise to the That's why I say in the front to you. I'm thankful that I got you in my life. When I feel, when I go, when I don't know about you. I would you lost, I would be where I fall. So I'll go. Cause with you is I used to go maneuver with the foolish until I learned that mustard seed faith is a mighty mountain mover. All my childhood years was spent praying for peace, and then I ventured on my own and lost my power to speak. It's temporary, yeah, I know it's scary, yeah. And when you journey in the unknown and do it alone, look to your left and to your right. When you fail to see the light, it's in your heart, love is bright. Let it guide and be your sight. Side to fall, but just don't wallow in pity. Get on your feet and dust it off. I know that fighting ain't pretty, but when you swing for that fence with a little bit of faith, something rings in your sense. Get a little bitty taste of what it tastes. Sweat and tears, the fluid that reveals. Take a muscle breaking down and start the process to heal. Time reveals what it is, you gon' be alright. Just keep your faith in the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Most High. I'm thankful that I got you in my life. I just do not know where I would be at without you. Have you in my life. You were always there when I fall. So I'll go, 'cause with you to be okay.
It's a funny thing about faith, man. Faith is a belief in things that you cannot see. And sometimes when you can't see no way, that's when you really got to have faith, because that's what it is. If you could see it, you wouldn't have to have faith. If you knew you were going to be rich in 4 years, you would act totally different. Because you know in 4 years I'm going to be rich. So all you got to do, then you wouldn't need faith. All you need is patience. But God don't reveal to you when he going to give it to you, because that would destroy the relationship of faith. He just requires that you have the faith. He gonna give it to you. If you write it down, he gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you.
Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified the next time that I upload. And don't forget to dare to be different. Until next time, guys.
I dare to be different. I dare to be different. I dare to be